This has become a very, very popular feature. Wednesday nights, we get to read a letter from one of our listeners, and the letter reads as follows: Dear Tich Mataz and Dr. Neaves, I'm a divorcee, and it has been about a year since my divorce. I have 3 kids, and I spend most of my time trying to be the best father I can be. I've never really been on my own. I've always been in a relationship. I feel like it is time for me to meet someone new and move on, even though I know some people might think a year is far too soon. I've met someone I'm really interested in. She's a really nice lady, and I'd like to get to know her better and spend some quality time with her. We've only known each other for about 2 weeks. My challenge is that I don't know how to tell her that I'm a divorcee with 3 beautiful kids and that I've only been divorced for about a year. I'm not sure how she will take it because people can be very judgmental. And this letter was written by Mike from Parkhurst. Hey, Doc, good evening. How are you doing tonight? It's Wednesday. Good to have you back.
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening. Braving the cold here, but all well, thank you. Mike, thanks for that lovely letter. I am a dad who's also got 3 children, and I've been through my own experiences there of entering into the dating world after a long-term relationship. So I can certainly share some advice there for you this evening. It's been 2 weeks. Congratulations. You've gone out there and found yourself attracted to somebody, which is the first most amazing, beautiful step. We need to obviously look at this, and my keywords are always slow down and just push pause and just reflect on things. You know, it can be such a wonderful feeling meeting somebody new, and we have that cocktail of hormones running through us that it can be so exciting. But you have got children involved, and I think in this new adventure of your life, you're going to have to remember not only yourself but also your children. And so therefore you've got that greater responsibility there also, and not to allow any new relationship to come in and actually destabilize your family as such. Okay, so there's the man, but there's also the father, and being a father is the priority. Always remember that. Okay, particularly when you are somebody who seems to have quite a bit of the custody there as well, you carry that responsibility. So make sure that you're aware, obviously, of your children's ages related to your new potential relationship. Go and find out a bit more about them psychologically, your children, that is, how this would impact them, also potentially a new person, what age is appropriate for them as far as introducing the new partner as things develop as well. All of that's there for you to go and look at and research. And I really advise you to do some research there, not do what some parents do, which is get so carried away by the new love that they introduce a new person relatively too soon. And unfortunately, sometimes children can get too attached, and then things can get quite scary, and little ones can get hurt there too. Okay, so you're having to carry those 3 hearts in your hands. So please make that a priority. Then I would certainly look at this new relationship and say, you know what? This is the reality. This is where I am. There's many people out there who are divorced. There's many people who have children. I didn't quite catch your age. I didn't quite catch the age of the new person you're dating also. Those are all relative aspects to look at there, but certainly embrace it. And, you know, you're going to need to find somebody who's going to embrace those children too, depending on their ages as well. So the sooner you do mention it, I think the better, particularly if you're looking for a longer term type of dynamic. But something that you're just wanting to have a bit of fun with, you don't really have to mention that there at all, but just be clear with the lady that there is this dynamic happening if you feel in your heart it's important to.
Doc, it's quite an important question. Normally, how long should it take for somebody to, begin a new relationship after a divorce?
It's very difficult to say, and I'll tell you why, is because, we often have the final divorce date where papers are signed and now I'm officially divorced. But as we can understand, people have already basically left the relationship emotionally, often months, if not years, before the actual divorce date has gone through. So this situation might be a case where maybe Mike's been already emotionally thinking and wanting to have a new connection for maybe 2-3 years already, and so then he would certainly be ready. I think what's important is that the divorce is seeming to be finalized and done. And so that boundary is now clear. That chapter's closed. So it does give one a nice bit of freedom. And you've waited a year, it would seem. That's a good amount of time. Depending on what's happened in the actual divorce, also depend on how you are healing and what sort of trauma you went through, what's the co-parenting, what are the arrangements there as far as the divorce is going forward. Is all going to impact emotionally there on our rights of this. Yeah, I would say certainly a good gauge of time normally is 2 years from a situation like this. That's normally the amount of time that somebody does take to really heal and close off a chapter from a previously long-term relationship. But everybody does differ. And I think what's important is to ask the question, is this a rebound where I'm just trying to fill up my emptiness or my lonely nights, or is this a genuine sort of connection where I really do feel like it's time to open up a brand new chapter with somebody?
Fantastic. Let's find out. And I know you have many different questions, Doc. The author of the letter is with us tonight, Mike from Parkhurst. Good evening. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing this evening?
Very good.
Hi,
First
Mike.
and foremost, congratulations on this new lady. You sound quite excited.
I am excited. Yeah, it just sort of sprung up on me. It wasn't something I was expecting necessarily. But
Right.
yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I was out with friends, and then I happened to meet this beautiful lady. We started talking, and we get each other. I've seen her 3 times since, and it's all been beautiful meetups, nothing too serious, just casual dates. And now I think I'm just ready to tell her this part of myself. I mean, as a 39-year-old man, yeah, things do get a bit dim in our dating lives at this age. But I think I just want to let her know, that I do have kids, and I am a divorcee. But I'm finding it difficult to get to the words and to just, come up front with it.
Right. Right. And thanks for your vulnerability and your honesty around these things. When it comes to the heart, these matters are important and you want to make a great impression. And like you said there, being 39 now, trust me, she knows you're no longer an 18-year-old. She knows you've lived life and you've been through things. So I'm sure she's quite curious to know, what has the history been there? Do you have children? And often a woman is really impressed that you've got, I believe it's 3 children. And they respect that you are a father. And again, people's relationships, sadly, they can come to an end. So the word divorce and separation is quite a common experience that people do go through, sadly, but it's something that's not unfamiliar. And I think, yes, if you're thinking a little bit more longer term here and you're really liking this person, it's going to need to be something that would need to be shared. And I'm sure you'd be curious about her. How much has she revealed? Is she also keeping a few things back, right? And so maybe you guys can have a lovely evening where you can just start to share a little bit more. And remember, you only have to share what you feel is comfortable at this stage in the early dating phase. But certainly to move forward, I think this information is important. You wouldn't want her to maybe sort of scout you out on Facebook, and then there she sees all the family pictures, and then she's like, hey, why haven't you told me? So rather let it come from yourself, and just introduce the little ones and just mention their names and a little bit about them. And I think what's important for a new lady to actually see and realize is that you're in control of the situation. As scary as it is and all of that stuff, you're actually happy and you're proud and you love the role and it's important to you. And I think that gives a woman a lot of trust that, he's made time to see me and he's got kids. Well, this guy's got it together. And so that actually becomes a very attractive and very mature, experience for a woman, which is actually lovely. So, yeah, jump in, man. I think it's time to make that date and, get the information out there.
Mark,
Thanks, Doc.
does your partner
I
have a
think
child?
the main fear is her thinking I'm a failure, in a sense, because people tend to attach that word to divorce and ending a marriage, and I don't want
Yeah.
her to have that view of me,
Right.
because I am trying to put my life back together.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
this point, I do see her being part of that life, even though, of course, I'm still getting to know her. So I just don't
Yeah.
want her to have that view of me as, someone who's
Yeah.
failed
Yeah.
at something so
Yeah.
major.
Yeah. Can you hear the vulnerability that you're sharing here with us this evening? And
Yeah.
when you share that vulnerability, I connect with you, and I get you, man. I hear the human behind your words. I hear the actual man who has this real fear. And I can tell you now, if you said to her, "Hey, I've got some information, I've got some news on my life, but I really like you, and I'm so scared that you might see me as a failure. But I have been divorced and I have got children. I hope that doesn't change things. And I've actually sat with this a while because I really would like to create a good impression with you." That speaks volumes rather than pretending to be like everything's fine and everything's okay. You're showing her that vulnerable side that you were actually quite scared to show her. You don't want to be seen as a failure. That gives her more context to who you are. And I know it may take courage and you may not actually share that, but consider actually doing that. How would you feel about being that honest with her?
I think I'm ready. I mean, she does seem like an open person.
Yeah.
We've had very deep conversations about different parts of ourselves so far. But I think, I don't want her to cast that view onto me moving forward. And for her to have doubts about, getting into a situation with someone who already has a family. She did mention that she'd like to start one of her own
Okay.
at a later stage in her life.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't want her to feel like she's being pressured into anything. I mean, even
Yeah.
though, of course, I am at this point developing some feelings for her.
Right. So I would keep that part out of it and not admit right now that you're developing feelings. That would probably put a bit of pressure on her after just 2 weeks. But I'd certainly
Yeah.
share a bit more about your life, and certainly I think it's wonderful information that you can share. Again, you're 39, right? She's probably aware that, if she hasn't already stalked you out on Facebook, if you have social media pages or whatever, if she's been out on dates with you, trust me, she's probably been asking about you and being curious as well. Women do these things, of course, and it's not a bad thing. But you know, I'd also just challenge you a little bit there and just have a look at your experience of what you've been through with this divorce, because there is a part of you that does feel in his own way that maybe he has failed. And is there healing there for you still to do where you can actually embrace that situation and almost be on the other side of that now in a proud way that says, I did what I could. I gave it everything. It just wasn't meant to be. And not see it as something that is shameful or embarrassing, but really try and heal a bit more there and just own that you've been through that experience. On a personal note, I would really try and do that for yourself, okay? And then secondly, with her, yeah, I would certainly open things up and just, let her know that this is important information. This is my situation. And you can just give her pre-context and just say, gosh, man, my life is where it is and it's been so busy. And I hope what I'm going to share right now isn't going to put you off because I really like you. But if you have any
Yeah.
questions to know more about it, I'm here to share with you. But this is my reality and this is what it's about. And yeah, would you mind if I ask you how old are your children?
Between 9 and 6, 9, 7, and 6.
Okay, good job, man. Beautiful. So they're still quite young. They're at that age still where they will bond and potentially look up to her as that next close person. I'm not sure what the relationship's like with mom, but it's not like they're teenagers who are independent, right? So you got a bit more on your hands there as far as the actual bonding and attachment is concerned. And
Yeah.
normally a good time to introduce the children, and this is a bit of a controversial one. People have different opinions. I always feel that when you're comfortable to introduce them to this person is the best time, because you as the father need to show them that you're managing and comfortable with the new lady and that you're happy to introduce them. Okay. I sense with you that there isn't a reason where some parents, they use their children to impress the other person, right? And that's a pretty sad situation. But I think in your case, you're a very genuine person, and you'll know when to also introduce her if it gets to that stage. But yeah, you got a few little hearts on your hands there, man. So it is quite a complicated but beautiful offering. I'd like you to step back and also just consider what a beautiful opportunity this is for a new person to see you as this incredible father, and be proud of that, and let that be your your brand almost, that you're a dad. It's super sexy, man. I know a lot of ladies who really find that attractive because you've got children, and it signals to them maturity, it signals to them responsibility, it signals to a woman that this man is nurturing, and it can be very attractive to the right ladies. And that's the majority of them, I can guarantee you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, this does help me a lot because I've been in a bit of a pickle, wondering whether or not I should let her know.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to set it up. I don't know whether should I just take her out again, or should it be like in an intimate setting, like in a private setting. Yeah.
I wouldn't overthink it too much. What I would do is I would think of your next time that you'd like to see her. Don't think about this is now going to be the big reveal, and there needs to be like lights and cameras. Not at all. It's just let it be natural, let it flow quite just organically. I would start with just thinking, man, I'd love to go for pizzas one night, or I'd love to go see a movie, whatever it is you'd love to go and do, and just hang out with her. Don't be nervous. Just have fun with her that evening. Get to know her. Maybe ask her a bit more about her family. What is her background like? How's her dating life been? You're going to want to know a bit more about that, not linger there and like analyze every single person she's maybe dated, but you'd like to just find out a bit about that, depending on her age as well. And then she then may naturally reveal, hey, maybe she surprises you and she says she's got 4 children. Right?
Well, then I'll reveal mine and she'll reveal her.
Instant big family. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's 7, right? And then, so, I would get her talking and sharing a bit more about her family and just ask her questions and say, hey, tell me about your mum and dad, what's happening there? Are they still with us? Where are they? What was that like growing up with them? Those are normally really nice questions to ask. They're natural questions. People are expecting to be asked that anyway. She will then naturally also then reveal where she's been with her life experience. And then that would be the time when she asks you, so tell me about you, what's happened in your life? Do you have children?
Mike,
and then
if she tells you she's got 4 kids, what you going to do?
I guess I'm a father of 7.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
More the
Mike.
merrier. Yeah.
True.
After 3 children, they say that the more you have, it doesn't really matter because you're quite used to juggling all those other hearts, man. So you sound like a great dad. And, if she gets up that vibe from you that you would be prepared to also embrace her children if she has, how wonderful. It'll just boost the attraction. And, yeah, you can imagine those Sunday lunches, man.
True story there. Mike, thank you so much for having written to us. We hope that somehow we have given you the right direction to take with your new lady.
Yes, you have.
Good luck,
Thank
Mike.
you so much.
All right. Doc, thank you. Let's meet
Pleasure.
same
Take care.
time next week, next Wednesday.
Lovely. Looking forward to it. Keep warm. Ciao.
All right. Did stay warm, very cold tonight all across the Southern African region. Our time is 20 to 11 on African Diaries.
Africa.